Hi there and welcome back. In this video we're going to look at configuring EIGRP, which is a routing protocol, internal routing protocol, similar to OSPF in that it has some link state properties. It's actually known as a hybrid protocol, so it's not quite link state, it's not quite distance vector, it's somewhere in the middle, like a hybrid if you would. What I've done ahead of time is actually remove our current OSPF config from the routers to put them back to their default state, which is to show only connected routes. If I do a quick show IP protocols, you'll see there's nothing currently configured. So what we're going to do is I'm quickly going to run through each of these routers, enable EIGRP on each router, and show you the process. It's very similar actually to OSPF, so we go under the router command, but this time we go EIGRP, it's a mouthful, and we need to select an autonomous system number. Now this autonomous system number actually needs to match on each router, so unlike OSPF where you define process ID and that can be any ID that's local to that router, this actually has to match. If I do a quick show IP int brief to see the interfaces I'm working with, and then we'll do network, and we'll turn it on for this network here. Pretty much the same as OSPF, except we don't have the concept of areas, so we don't need to define an area. It's all autonomous system in this case. Okay. And that's it. That's the very basic config. Let me just replicate this on Calgary, Montreal and Toronto, and then in future videos we're going to look at some other options. In fact, I'll show you those options briefly now. So if we go router, and we'll do autonomous system 1 again, so it has to match like I said before. Do show IP int brief. We'll do network. Oops. Try again. Network. Just lazy copy. Lazy copy and pasting. There we go. And we'll do the same. We'll get a bit fancy with the with the wildcard mask in this case. 255.255. So we want to match anything that's 10.1, and we don't care about the second 2 octets in this case. We shall turn it on for both of these networks up here. And the final one we want to do is for the loopback address, which is here. Perfect. So Calgary, you did see some adjacencies come up there as well, as you can see. I may not have turned it off previously on Montreal, perhaps. Let's have a look. Let's go over there and have a look what we've done. I was playing around with this earlier and I might have left something running on this particular router. Let's do show IP protocols. And indeed I have. Maybe that speeds things up a little bit. Let me do a quick show run. That was completely intentional, of course. Begin router. Yep, so we already have it configured on this router. There you go. Yes, that was accidental. I thought I'd removed it. So I was playing around in there just to make sure everything works as expected before I record the video, which I usually do. This time I'd actually forgot to undo my work. And we'll just check on this router as well to see what we have set here. And indeed we have the same setup. So we have, you can see the EIGRP information here. We're not going to go into this too much. This is something called K values, which are how EIGRP actually sets its metrics. It's quite a complicated thing, to be honest. We're not going to look at that in this video. So now all routers should be able to see all routers. Let's jump over to Calgary, because that's the one that's sort of in the middle of our network, and we should be able to see quite a few routes on here. So I do a quick show IP route. You can see I have a bunch of routes. They're denoted by the letter D, which actually stands for EIGRP. I can never get that out. Why they didn't choose E? I guess E was chosen for external, perhaps. But yeah, so anything that has a D, just like OSPF has an O, in this case, we see a D for the routes in this case. So what we should see now is end-to-end connectivity. So if I just jump on the Vancouver router, and we'll see if we can ping right across the network just to be sure. So we'll ping 192.168.3.1, which is again the Montreal office, and we're going to ping it from our own loopback address, which is 192.168.2.1 in Vancouver. As you can see, we have now full connectivity across the network. It's a very, very speedy protocol. You see the adjacencies come up almost immediately. It's very, very fast. You don't have to do a lot of fine tuning. It's very simple to set up, as you can see as well. No concept of areas or anything like that. There is something called summarization that we need to look at some point, maybe in the next video. But at this point, to get everything up and running, everything can see each other. Everything's working as expected, so no problems there. Any questions on this, give me a shout, but it's very simple config, very similar to OSPF in terms of the configuration, actually slightly easier. So any questions, give me a shout, but I look forward to seeing you in the next video.